Hi guys, this is Kayla.
And this is Becky, and we're with A Couple of Bees Read.
And we also drink wine. What is our weekly wine this week, Becky?
Oh, I don't believe we've had this one before.
Mm.
This is Field House 301, and it is a Syrah. And I'm anxious for you to try it and see what you think about it. I found out that this particular wine was created from two separate vineyards. The grapes, the Syrah grapes that came from two different places, they were harvested at night so that the freshness of the grapes, it maintained that. And then each of the parcels were actually fermented separately so that the characteristics from each vineyard could develop in that fermentation process. And then after that happened, it was 21 to 25 days. Then they were combined together in stainless steel vats, and then they were aged for several months.
Ooh. Definitely has a strong smell, in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Very, very bold.
Yes. Yes. Is it plum? Is there plum in there?
There's some blueberry. There's a flower in here.
A flower? Elderberry?
No, violets.
Oh,
but
okay.
what you are sensing is something called cassis, Cassis, which is a black currant. So that's where that real dark, heavy, bold taste is coming from.
Well, very good, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now that it's in the South, I realize in some other places it's been cold for a long time, but we're getting cold here. We're hitting the 20s and 30s now.
We're getting cold, but everyone else is getting snow. And I'm jealous.
I'm not. It kind of shuts us down in the South if we get snow, but this next to a nice fire, or just think about sitting around the supper table and you're having a good hearty beef stew or a good brisket, or, just a good charcuterie board with lots of meats and, sharp cheeses and things. This wine would be excellent for that.
Yeah.
So, and both vineyards, of course, were clean crafted, no pesticides, no anything like that added in. So, and this is not a really expensive bottle of wine, so it's excellent, and you can, get it on the website. So click in there. If you like a good, bold red wine, this is the wine for you, for sure. So what book are we reviewing this week?
This week, and I read this on my Kindle, we are reviewing The Spy Coast by Tess Gerritsen. And if you've heard of Tess Gerritsen, it's because she wrote Rizzoli and Isles.
Of course.
That is her most popular series. I actually didn't watch it when it was out. I was in college. I didn't watch TV.
Yeah. Well, Wayne and I watched it all the time and loved it.
See,
it was awesome.
I went back when I was reading this. I liked the dialogue. I liked the characters so much. When I realized what the author had also wrote, I was like, I've never seen that. Turned on the first episode. I was like, this is a really good show. Why haven't I seen this? This is right up my alley.
Yes, I love that show.
So it's on my list now. But this book is about retired CIA agents.
Okay.
Spy Coast. So there was that movie with Bruce Willis that came out several years ago, Red, where they're all retired CIA. Similar feel, not as funny. That movie was supposed to be an action comedy.
Right.
This is far more serious.
I was going to say, it must be more serious.
Yes. And don't get me wrong, there are some funny moments. The characters are really well done. The main character is former CIA agent Maggie Bird, she had a mission that absolutely failed and ended her career. And that's not a spoiler because she basically says that from the beginning.
Right.
And it left her in a situation where she was on the move constantly, afraid people were going to come after her.
Oh, wow.
Until a few years before our novel begins, where some of her other friends from the CIA contact her, and they're like, hey, we've settled down in this small little like farming town. You want to come move up here? And she does. She goes, she moves there, puts her past behind her. Her and her, let's see how many, 4 retired spy friends. And some of them worked in the CIA. I think one worked in FBI, but they've all been in espionage somehow.
Yeah.
So they, these 5 retired people get together once a week and just hang out, talk, eat. And then one day, a woman shows up and asks, oh, and I'm sorry, they call themselves the Martini Club, which is, there's going to be a sequel, and I'm so excited. This is a new series. So her and her retired friends call themselves the Martini Club. They sit around and hang out. And one day a woman shows up and she says, do you remember Diane? And Maggie's like, yes, and I hate her. Please go away. Well, that woman ends up dead in Maggie's driveway the next day. And thus we have our inciting incident and the plot starts moving. Someone tries to kill Maggie and she realizes that the case that ruined her, that Diane was in charge of, has somehow come back to haunt her. So she's got to figure out who found out about that particular mission, where they went wrong. And it's told from many points of view. Maggie's is one of the main ones.
Right.
But there's also Joe Pipido, who is the county sheriff. And she is a 20-something, no, I think she's 30 actually. Late 20s, early 30s. But she is a sheriff. She's grown up in the town. So, when someone gets dropped off in Maggie's yard and she's dead, Joe's going to solve the case. And she's very gung-ho. She's very smart. Most people seem to have the consensus that she is too smart to be, an officer in a small town.
Yeah.
So part of it is Maggie and flashbacks to what happened before and what's happening now. And part of it is Joe slowly beginning to realize that these 5 retired people in her community
are not what they seem.
So
it sounds fun.
It is so much fun. Like I said,
need to read that for sure.
You would really love it. And I recommend it to any of my friends who, like me, have complained about like a lack of age diversity in this genre. Because I feel like this is one reason I like Terry Perlotto's books so much.
Yeah.
Because
Rita. She's in her 60s. I like ladies in their 60s.
Yeah.
I think we're fun.
And they should be more than, just
we're
one
just not
stereotype.
A bunch of old grandmas.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, fire, I got a motorcycle I ride. So
this is true. But it's nice and refreshing to see that those characters are being invited into the genre and being invited in so well.
That's good.
And so well represented. So it's one that I would recommend to any reader, like all ages. And I've said this before, the spy thriller genre is one that I don't usually stick my toe in, but this one, 100%. Yes. In fact, I will probably pick up more spy books because of this one.
Okay, good.
So check it out. It is The Spy Coast by Tess Gerritsen. And I can't wait to read more of that series.
Sounds great.
Right. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.